Happy Halloween, beautiful people, and welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me for this Halloween edition practice. Now, today's practice is going to be an energizing flow to bring you back from feeling like a zombie. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. And go ahead and roll out your mat. And we'll hop right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. We're going to begin today's practice in our mountain pose. Stacking ankles under knees, under hips. We'll lift the shoulders and work them back and down the spine. Pinky fingers will rotate forward as we gently draw the head over the spine, closing the eyes. We'll take a large breath in through the nose and letting it go through the mouth. 2 more breaths like this. Big breath in through the nose. And an even larger exhale back out. 1 more. And with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, reaching to the ceiling. We can add just a tiny baby back bend by lifting the eyes to the ceiling. With our exhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides and bow the chest forward. Inhale, halfway lift, reaching forward with our witch's hat or the top of our head. Exhale to fold again, and we'll pause here, and we'll wiggle out. We can sway the hips side to side, or grab for opposite elbows and find a sway to the upper body. We can pedal out the legs, or find a slight bouncing, or whatever else feels right to you and your body today. With our next in-breath, we'll move to that halfway lift, again engaging the core, pulling rib bones and hips a little closer together. Exhale, we'll hinge forward again. This time reverse swan diving the arms, dropping them down, lifting them out to the sides as we rise up to the ceiling. Exhale, reverse, sweeping arms to the side. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive and back up again. And 1 more time. Exhale, swan diving the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And we'll pause here. Drooping the arms straight down from the shoulders, dropping the top of the head down. And we'll let the hands and the head be heavy. Starting at the lowest point of our spine, all the way down at the hips. We'll roll 1 vertebrae up past the next, rounding our way up the spine. And then we'll do some shoulder rolls at the top. And we'll make our way to the top of our mat. A full breath in. Exhale, hinging from the waist forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands down, putting as much of a bend to the knees as we need to pick up the left leg. We'll press that left leg up and back behind. And very slowly, let that left leg land on the floor in our runner's lunge. Full breath in here. And an even larger breath back out. With our inhale, we'll sweep the hands across the floor out in front and lift us up to the ceiling as we shine the chest forward. Crescent lunge here. Couple more big breaths in. And even bigger breaths back out. Good. We'll lift up onto the tippy toes of both feet as we pivot and open up to our side mat for our warrior two. Bending into the right knee, reaching forward and back with the hands. Now we'll flip our right hand up to the ceiling. And with an in-breath, reach up and over to the back of our mat. With our exhale, we'll cartwheel the arms and drop the right elbow to the knee. Reach the left hand up and over to the top of our mat. We'll move back and forth with the breath. Trying to press down evenly with both feet and keep our legs, our base, nice and strong throughout. And we'll make our way back to our neutral warrior two, inchworming our front foot a little further out before softening just a little bit lower, pressing to the outside edge of our front pinky toe. And then we'll press down through the right leg, taking that leg towards straight. Hips will go back behind so we can reach the right arm out past the toes before we hinge from the waist and lift the left hand over top of the right hand for our triangle pose. Now the eyes can go up to the top hand or they can go down to the bottom hand. And with our inhale, we'll float the body back up. Hands will come to heart center. Rock forward onto the tippy toes of our left heel and bring the heel in a little bit closer as we drop the hips back towards our right leg. To our left leg. Now pressing down through our left leg to lift us back up. And we're going to bring our feet to match, heels in towards center and toes pointed away. Tuck the tailbone under and we'll drop straight down into our crab pose or our goddess pose. Now finding a little sway side to side. We can have hands at heart center, hands on the hips, or hands in our cactus pose, as long as it does not make you press the hips back behind. We want those hips tucked forward. And we'll move back to center and soften just a little bit lower, a little deeper into this pose. Continuing with those big breaths. And then we'll take the hands to the knees and send the tailbone back behind as we wiggle out. Now from here, we'll find some twisting movements. So bringing our right shoulder across to our left knee. Inhale through center. Left shoulder to the right knee. Inhale to center. And we'll do each side one more time. And back to center again, extending out through both legs. We'll reach the arms up nice and wide, splay the fingertips, lift the chest, and wiggle it out. Good. Bring hands back to heart center, and we'll make our way to the top of our mat. Starting with our left toes, we'll pick them up and pivot them. Then our right toes, pick them up and pivot them. Now hips, close the hips, moving back to our crescent lunge. And with our exhale, we'll sweep the hands down to the floor, placing them on either side of our right foot. And we'll pop us up on that right leg, extend the left back behind, put a bend to the knee and drop the left foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, reverse swan dive the arms. We'll pick us all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, reverse, swan dive the chest forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands down, and we'll pick up our right leg. Press it back and behind, and nice and slow, like the leaves falling on the breeze. We'll set our right toes down and take a full breath in. Even larger breath back out, pressing down through the feet as we sweep the fingertips across the floor, reach them out in front and up to the ceiling, crescent lunge on this side. Now we'll lift us up on our tippy toes and balance here as we pivot open to our right side for our warrior two. Now we'll do the same as before, flipping our left hand up to the ceiling, reaching up and over to the back of our mat. Exhale to cartwheel the arms, and our right hand will come up and over to the top of our mat, and we'll move back and forth with the breath. And back to our neutral warrior two. Reaching forward and back with the hands. And we'll inchworm our front foot just a little bit further up and soften a little lower in our warrior two. Good. Press down through the left leg, hips go back, and we'll reach the left hand forward before hinging for our triangle pose, stacking the shoulders and reaching tall with the right hand. And again, the eyes can follow our left hand or our right hand. With our inhale, we'll float the body back up and bring hands into heart center, pivoting our back heel into the body as we drop the hips back and over towards our right leg. Press down through the right and pick us back up. This time, our feet will come parallel or toes slightly in and heels out, depending on how that feels in your body today. We'll sweep the arms out to the sides and exhale, hinge forward for our wide-legged forward fold. Nodding the head yes, And shaking the head no. Releasing out the upper body, allowing yourself to hang heavy here. Now we can find a shift forward and back. We can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway side to side. Or we can find any other variation in between. With our in breath, we'll find a halfway lift, taking the top of the head straight out in front of the body. Engage through the core. Exhale, we'll hinge forward again, dropping the hands straight underneath of the chest. We'll press into the left hand. And with our big breath in, we'll reach the right arm up to the ceiling, gentle twist. Exhale, coming back through center, untwisting. And taking your time, replacing the left with the right. Grounding into the right hand, and with our next in-breath, we'll take the left arm up. And our exhale will bring the left hand down again. Shifting forward, so some of the weight is in our hands, so we can pivot our heels in towards center. And now our toes are pointed away from the body, adding a little more bend to the knees to help us lift back up through that star pose again, splaying the fingertips out wide and lifting the chest. You can find some wiggling out through the fingers, through the legs, through the hips, whatever feels right. Good. Hands will come to heart center, and like we did before, we'll make our way back to the top of the mat, starting with right foot first, picking up the toes, and we'll pivot them around. Now our left foot, pick up the toes, pivot them around, and we'll close the hip by coming on to the tippy toes of our right foot through our crescent lunge. Exhale, lower the hands down, frame out the front foot. We'll pop us up. Extend the right leg long back behind, and then set it down beside the left. Full breath in for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Now we'll drop the hands straight down from the shoulders again, nodding the head yes, and shaking the head no. Allowing the hands and the head to be heavy as we roll one vertebrae past the next, slowly ragdolling and rolling our way back to standing. Lifting the shoulders up to the ears and working them back and down the spine a few times. And we'll wiggle out through the body, making our way back around towards the middle of our mat. And we'll plant our left foot down on the floor. Now from here, we'll find some balance. We'll pick up the right knee, press it up tall in front of us. Really reach high with that right knee. And we can take the arms up to the ceiling as well. With our exhale, we'll press the leg back behind as we airplane the arms for our warrior three, pressing back with the heel or the toes. With our inhale, we'll draw our right knee up to the chest again. Arms go tall. Exhale, hands come to heart center as we find our figure four with our leg. So our right leg is crossing halfway down the shin across our left leg. Our knee is out to the side. And then we'll hinge and we'll press the hips back as we find our balance here. With our inhale, we'll lift up from the chest. Take the right leg off of the left. Send it back behind, airplane the arms. Warrior 3. And we'll step the toes down. Inhale, crescent lunge, baby back bend, lift to the ceiling. Exhale, eyes come forward, just out in front of the toes to airplane us up again, warrior 3. We'll lift the chest, draw the knee up in front, and we'll set it down. Wiggle it out. Now our other side. Moving our weight into the right, we'll pick up the left, lift the arms to the ceiling and really press up through that left knee. Exhale, we'll press the leg back behind as we airplane the arms. With our in-breath, pressing forward again, lifting the knee up tall. And we'll cross it over our right, figure 4. Knees out to the side and left toes are pointed down. Exhale, we'll sit into our figure 4 shape. With our inhale, we'll lift up from the chest, bringing the left knee up with us. And we'll send it back behind, warrior 3. Slowly set those left toes down for our crescent lunge, lifting tall for a baby back bend. Bringing the eyes forward, just out in front of our right toes to pop us up again, warrior 3. And we'll lead with our left knee, bringing it up in front and setting it down. Wiggle out, that was great. From here, we're going to make our way down to our mat on our hands and knees for our tabletop pose. Planting wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, we'll splay the fingertips out wide and press down through the tops of our feet. With an in-breath, shine the chest forward. Lift the tailbone and the eyes up. With our exhale, we'll curl into center, arch up through the spine, and tuck the hips under. And we'll move back and forth with our cat and cow poses. And back through our tabletop. Now from here, we have a couple options. We can press the hips back to the heels, soften the chest towards the floor for a child's pose. Or we can walk the hands in and sit on the heels, depending on how you would like to end your practice today. Thank you so very much for joining me. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.